Hello and welcome to Careflight Field here in beautiful Springboro, Ohio for tonight's MVCC City Barbecue Game of the Week, week number 6. Today's game is the GWalk National West Showdown as the 3-3 Springboro Panthers host the 5-1 Miamisburg Vikings. It's a beautiful 70-degree night. We've got a beautiful sunset on the far side, and we are ready for an exciting game. I'm Michael Sliger alongside Jeff Allen bringing you tonight's game. A quick recap what happened last week for these two teams. First for the Vikings. Jeff, how did they fare last week against the Fairmont Firebirds?
Well, the Miamisburg Vikings suffered their first loss of the season in a thrilling battle last week to the Firebirds, 25-24. The game looked to be in the Viking hands, up 5 points with less than 2 minutes left, but the Firebirds blocked the punt and scored the game-winning touchdown with about 40 seconds left in the game. Other than that, the Vikings look good on both sides of the ball and are looking to bounce back tonight, definitely. And Michael, how did the Panthers do last week against the Beaver Creek Beavers?
Let's see. The Panthers won in dominating fashion over Beaver Creek on the road. They won 34-7 with a rushing onslaught from senior running back William Yates. Yates had 10 rushing attempts for 153 yards and a total of 5 touchdowns. That gives the Panthers 2 in a row. They are 3 for 3 for the year as they run toward the playoffs with 4 games left, including tonight in the season. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the Vikings head coach and Vikings team for us?
Well, Steve Chanel, Michael, is in his 7th season as Viking head coach. 49-21 with the Vikings, but overall outstanding. 210 and 114. 2003 Division II state runner-up with Edgewood, and head coach for Miamisburg, first playoff win just a couple seasons ago. And what about the other sideline?
For the Panthers, Landon Palmer is doing great. Quarterback's having a great year, a quarterback rating of 161.6, almost a 65% completion. He has the ability to score really quick and fast. If the Panthers want a shot, he will definitely have to be on his A game tonight against the Miamisburg defense. They've really got to hold on to the ball. Unfortunately, they've had 9 turnovers in 6 games, so not so good there. Turnovers can and will cost you the game, so you've definitely got to hold on to that ball. For the Panthers defense, you've really got to watch out for Vongzi. You've already said his stats, so he'll definitely be a handful for the defense tonight. And the Panthers really have to go ahead and force some turnovers if they want to get the ball and stay competitive in tonight's game. So what's your prediction for tonight? What are we going to see? Who do you think is going to take it?
Personally, I think Miamisburg, they're 5-1 in the season already with prestigious wins, and last week was just a mishap of situations. I definitely think they'll correct it against a rather average Springboro Panthers right now.
I would agree. I think I'm going to go with Miamisburg as well. They've got a better record overall. Right now, they've overscored their opponents by 117, so a nice positive gap there. And I think they definitely want to bounce back after last week's heartbreaking loss against Fairmont. So we are ready and into tonight's match. The Vikings currently have the ball, 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line.
And just got the ball. Tate Vongzi, quick rushing attempt to John Yerkins, who has been a star for the past 2 years, even last year behind Tony Clark. 510 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns already this year, and so definitely we'll expect it to be a force tonight, even with Zion Lewis, who has been taking a lot of the looks.
Should be an exciting matchup tonight. Miamisburg has a man in motion, handoff to number 1. That is Zion Lewis. Lewis goes to the far side, picks up about 7 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd and 3 at the 39.
Lewis has been a really nice utility man so far this season with over 400 total yards and about 7 touchdowns total. So here we go, change of formation definitely, and you'll see this a lot tonight from Miamisburg as they'll switch from the wing tee to a more passing-friendly formation. You see Drew Berry out there.
Pass is complete to number 11.
And Drew Berry catches that one for a couple yards, if any.
Now the ball is marked at the 43-yard line, which should be enough for a first down. They definitely give him forward progress on that spot, so that moves the chains down. We've got 1st and 10 at the 43. Miamisburg looking to capitalize on a nice pickup there.
And now we'll see Tate Vongzi work on the Springboro D. Nice week last week, nice season so far, being super efficient, and Miamisburg kind of centering their offense around his efficiency.
Run up the middle. And that's going to pick up about 6.
And in the 7th game of the season, Tate Vong's only 2 turnovers, which is a really good number for a high school quarterback.
Yeah.
We almost never see anything like this.
2nd and 4 at the 49 puts the Vikings in pretty good position. And they've got Drew Berry coming back in, probably with the play from the sideline. Heading out into wide receiver position on the top of your screen.
And they'll hope to gain lead of time of possession definitely this week, as Fairmont ran them in that category. As you see, Yerkins go nowhere.
Gain of about a yard on the play. It's going to make it 3rd and 3 right on the 50. Just shy of the 50, about a half a foot.
Vongsy taking direction. And Chanel will send Vongsy out with about 15 left on the play clock. Drew Berry will be lined up at the top of your screen. Looks like they're going to run it here.
Jackson Myers
Vongsy
in
play
motion,
action.
go to the top of the screen. Pass complete. He's got 5, 10, 15. He's down to 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He
Wow.
over the tackler. And number 11, Drew Berry, goes into the end zone for a 50-yard pass completion and score to put the Vikings up.
Drew Berry, how about that? The senior who excels in 2 sports. You see his athleticism there. And how about the tremendous footwork by Tate Vongsy to get
Very
outside
nice.
the pocket, rolling to his left, throwing with his right through defenders. And you see here on the City Barbecue replay, good play action to Zion Lewis. Just
Pass
throws
across
across
the middle.
his body.
And he's gone. He outruns the 2 defenders, almost gets tripped up with a shoestring tackle, but stays on his feet and goes into the end zone. Extra point is good. So with 7:23 left in the first quarter, the Vikings take a 7-0 lead over the Springboro Panthers.
And a dreamlike start for Steve Chanel, as you will not rip off a lot of big plays on the Springboro secondary. It doesn't happen often. Josh Collins, Jared McCarthy, guys like that back there. It's Timothy Kessaday. Solid contributors, but great first drive, and they're going to make Springboro answer. They're going to make
think so.
Landon Palmer get outside of his comfort zone and have to make big plays through this game. I think Steve Chanel is going to consistently keep on the pressure like this.
Like we mentioned, Springboro had Miamisburg had kind of a heartbreaking loss last week. We were talking a little bit about that earlier, kind of losing at the very last minute.
Getting a block punt out of everything, It was definitely a questionable decision when Dave Miller decided to punt with 3 minutes left. But, wow, man, it was just an unfortunate turn of events for Miamisburg, and that's all you can wish for. And I would kill to not be the guy in the film room who didn't pick up that block.
Right.
And I was actually leaving the stadium, and I heard a few Springboro players talking like, man, whoever missed that block I blocked him. Did you block him? Yeah, I blocked him. Whoever missed that block is going to be in trouble.
25-24 loss last
Onside
week. They go for
kick.
The short kick. It's fielded back at the 34-yard line, and the runner is immediately dropped.
Colin Dillon, who's been a pretty solid kicker for the last couple years for Miamisburg Vikings, and not something you see often. It looked to be an onside kick, but it had a little too much power.
Yeah.
It was almost like a short squib.
Ball spotted at the 36-yard line. That'll give the Panthers 1st and 10 at their own 36. Once again, 7:20 left on the clock.
And that
Looked
will
like
bring
it was
out
number 9, Lucas Etheridge, fielding the ball.
6'5", 200-pound quarterback Landon Palmer. The junior has 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 3 picks on this year.
Runoff goes up the middle. Looks like number 1, William Yates. Yates moves out to the 40, so picking up 4 yards.
And we were talking about that before the game. That man, they were missing him for the 5 games. And last game, he exploded for over 200 total yards and 5 total touchdowns. Landon Palmer gets it. Good footwork, getting outside the pocket to the right.
He was looking for Eric Myers, number 13, on the near side, but Myers was covered. So he scrambles to the far sideline and goes out of bounds back just about the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Yeah, he hits Dickerson, but that was already out of bounds. Landon Palmer having a fantastic season, and still is 4 quarterbacks in G-Walk with over 60% completion percentage, and 2 of them are on the field tonight.
3rd and 6 on the 40. Looking for a receiver. Pass complete to number 81, and that is Cameron Dickerson. Dickerson gets close to the down marker. It's going to be 4th and about a yard.
Wow.
Ball's
really
going to be spotted
play.
right on the 45. They've got to get to the 46.
Landon Palmer is really mobile, and it doesn't show on the stat sheet with only 80 rushing yards in the season, but he can get the job done. And they're bringing out the punt team here. Wow. Nonetheless, great execution by Palmer and Dickerson. Getting that play to perfection, couldn't quite stretch the ball amongst that first down marker, but a punt here.
Nice punt. And that's going to be fielded. Oh, it's dropped. I thought at first he might have made contact with it, but apparently not. And that's going to roll down to about the 1 yard line. And that is going to be a fantastic punt result for Springboro. Bad field position, definitely not what the Vikings were looking for.
Lincoln Troxel, I believe, on that punt there.
They're down to my number 11, Josh Collins, for the Panthers. Ball spotted just inside the 1 yard line. 1st and 10 from their 1.
So we'll put
for Miamisburg.
Miamisburg in a tough situation, but
that is not where you want to start with that ball.
Steve Chanel, an experienced coach, has seen this situation 100 times and knows how to handle it. Let's see if the players can execute here.
Leading rusher for the Vikings has been John Yerkins. 74 runs for 510 yards, 6 touchdowns, averaging about 6.9 yards average. Zion Lewis, 82 rushes for 314 yards, averaging almost 4 yards. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season so far.
Zion Lewis also getting it done on the kick return side and
run up the middle, picks up 3, goes out to about the 4 yard line.
Zion Lewis is one of those guys in Wyatt that are having a breakout season.
Yeah.
Really picking up the slack for guys leaving like Tyler Johnson and Tony Clark.
Vongzi with the run there, brought down by the interior line of the Panthers.
Now comes number 11, Drew Barry. That big receiving touchdown last time, and that makes him the receiving leader for the Vikings on the season.
We've got 2nd and 7 from the 4 yard line. Vongzi hands off, run comes to the near side, and stop was made by number 34, Ethan France. And I don't think he's going to have any gain there. If he got anything, it might have gotten a foot. But let's call it no gain and still be 3rd and 7.
So it has to be really conservative here.
Here's the replay.
With the play call. 3rd and 7, backed up into the end zone. And
number 40, Lincoln Troxel, assisting on that tackle. So this is a big 3rd down.
Really, you got to think they just want to gain a few yards, get some room for the punt.
Right. But they definitely don't want to get a stop here, or get stopped at the line of scrimmage or take a sack.
Well, especially up 7-0, you definitely don't want to lose any yards.
And now it looks like we have, I think, a timeout called.
Definitely some miscommunication.
Yeah. The Vikings sideline does not look too happy, so they call a timeout. So that gives us a little bit of a break while they kind of reorganize and get their thoughts together. Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. You can go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this and other games. So hopefully if you're watching this afternoon or this evening or online, if you want to watch a streaming video, let your friends and family know they can watch from wherever they're at around the world. And tune in for some exciting high school sports here from the Miami Valley, Dayton, Ohio.
And you can catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 at noon tomorrow. # City Barbecue Replay. Big thanks to them.
That's going to be noon on Saturday and 2 p.m. on Sunday, and then should be live streaming after that.
So here we go, big 3rd and 7, and Steve Chanel is definitely cooking something up in that huddle. We'll see the result of that, and we'll spread out into a 4-receiver set. You don't see that a lot from the Vikings. Tate Vongzi dropping back.
He passes to the far side. It's tipped and falls incomplete. Tipped just off the receiver's fingertips. So that's going to be 4th and 7 from the 4, and the punting team comes out.
Something you don't see a lot is Miamisburg molding to someone's situations, and definitely did there. They knew it was a passing down. They went out there in a 4-receiver set, actually, and so kind of telegraphed that a little bit. And Tate Vongsi, you see some unexpected, not so good accuracy.
See the punter all the way back at the back of the end zone there. Gets off a nice kick, low kick. Kind of drops short. Ball lands at the 35 and is going to roll down just across the 40 and roll to a stop just inside the 45-yard line.
So
down by number 3, Jablonski.
Not that bad of a punt, but some iffy field position now for the Miamisburg defense to start out with.
Yeah, Panthers going to start off 1st and 10 at the Miamisburg 44. So nice position to start there for them.
And it's up to Landon Palmer to execute this drive and try to get them down. Already has half the field to work with.
Panthers have 3 receivers out, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side.
Brandon Thomas in motion. He's been a big play threat all year, going to the edge. And what a tackle. Number 16, Jackson Myers.
Yeah, Myers hit him and took him down for a loss of a yard. It looks like they're going to mark it.
All over it, and he's been good on both sides of the ball this year, blocking as a tight end out of the field, sometimes as a receiver with 200 receiving yards, a touchdown this year, and been really good on the defensive side of the ball, over 30 tackles.
Loss of 5 makes it 2nd and 15 at the 49. They got him further back behind the line of scrimmage when I realized when I first made that call.
Landon Palmer drops
back. He's got a receiver, number 1, Yates. Yates goes around a couple tacklers and is going to be pushed out of bounds. It looks like about the 42-yard line.
And number 1 in black will be the guy to watch tonight. He is electric with the ball in his hands, and he, much like Drew Berry, is a 2-sport star and really excels as a ball handler in basketball. Very quick and shifty in open field.
Gain of 7 is going to make it 3rd and 8 at the 42.
Palmer 2 in the backfield. 3-receiver set. Thomas in motion, the leading receiver for Springboro.
Looking for a receiver. Almost picked off.
And
was that number 21, Bryant?
Miscommunication all the way there. William Yates did not even look back. He was just, if he would have looked, it might have been a big play, but that was great communication. You see Landon Palmer yelling at him on the sideline.
Number 31, Jamal Evans, almost came up with a pick on there. He was watching the ball, and the receiver, unfortunately, was not. He never turned around to track the ball.
And you cannot throw errant passes against Jamal Evans. He covers a lot of the field.
Panthers back to punt.
So 2 fizzled out drives, 3 and outs.
Quick series on that. That didn't take long at all.
Wohai is a really good coach, and we'll see how he reacts to this.
Better punt there. The ball's going to be fielded right at the 10-yard line. And the runner is going to be stopped. It looks like the 12, maybe the 13. Looks like that was number 1, Lewis, fielding the ball. And he's going to be marked down at the 12. Tackle made by number 19, Max Yost.
So 3:10 to go in the first quarter here. And I wonder if this is an official timeout.
Yeah, it looks like we do. I didn't see which side called it.
I don't know. It might be another one of those official water breaks we've seen. Me and Jared seen a few weeks ago. It was pretty interesting.
It's cool enough tonight. I'd be kind of surprised by that, but it might be. So it looks like the refs motioned about drinks, or the, I don't know if they might have called for some water from the sideline or some Gatorade from one of the helpers. Yeah, Miamisburg came in. They had a win versus Northwest earlier in the season, win versus Olentangy, over Loveland, over Wayne, a win versus Troy, and then last week's loss against Fairmont. So tonight they're playing here in Springboro. Next week, week 8, October 12th, they'll be playing at Lebanon, and then Miamisburg will finish out with 2 home games, October 19th versus Beaver Creek and October 26th versus Northmont. There should be a couple tough games there. We've got 3 out of the next 4 games, including tonight, are conference games, so they're definitely wanting to put a couple more W's in the column as they head toward the playoff time of the year.
Yeah, definitely a nice, interesting chunk of the season with a bunch of conference games, bunch of rivalries.
1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. 3:09 left on the clock in the first quarter.
And the famous Miamisburg wing tee in the shift. Zion Lewis to the outside.
And
stopped immediately.
Picks up a yard, maybe 2. Stern making the tackle on that play. So, they give him credit for 1 yard, so that's going to be 2nd and 9 at the 12.
And they'll bring out
Tamar Thomas, number 4, coming in. And also we've got Tate Vongzi coming back in, getting the play from the sideline. And we've got about 15 seconds on the play clock. Now he'll hustle them up to the line and get everybody set, looking to pick up some yardage and hopefully do better than they did on their last series. Quarterback looking for receiver across the middle, complete to number 16. He picks up the first down and more. That's Jackson Myers coming down with the ball.
Beautiful throw by Vongzi.
Yes.
Good composure, just sitting in the pocket and saw that seam open up in the zone.
Ball spotted just outside the 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
And good toughness in there by Jackson Myers. Able to go in the teeth of the defense and hang on still. Myers, the younger cousin of Josh, who is playing at Ohio State as a rotational offensive lineman. A big recruit from Miamisburg a couple years ago.
Cassidy making the stop there. Vongzi's back. Handoff goes up the middle and nowhere. It looks like he stopped originally by number 4, Braden Miracle. So no gain, really much of anything on that play. So 2nd and 10.
And you see Chanel there reporting the play to number 11, Barry.
Barry's going to go out there and call it in.
They'll bring out senior Grant Smith, which looks apparently to be like some tonnage.
Barry comes out, lines up as a receiver. 2 receivers on the near side.
Toss.
Pitch to the backfield. And run breaks. Couple of tackles. He's got a little bit of room. Gets across the 35 to the 40. Drags the pile forward. And is finally pushed out of bounds. Looks like at the 43-yard line.
And
so a
wow.
nice pickup for the Vikings there.
A great toss by Miamisburg. And Yerkins really making an assertive run, making a statement. Wow, chugging his legs forward like that, still remaining standing at that.
1st and 10 on the 43. Yeah, he pushed a few of the defenders out of the way and kept the pile moving. Here you see the replay. He comes around, breaks away from 1 tackle, slips past another, goes in and out of line. There's 2 guys on him, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he keeps on pushing.
A great job.
Nice pickup
by the heart of this defense, Calvin Walters, almost getting back there and stopping the play early.
Run up the middle again, and that's going to cross the 45 to the 46. So picking up about 3 yards there. We'll call it 2nd and 7. And it looks like they're actually going to spot it back on the 45. So gain of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 45.
Number 34, Calvin Walters, is definitely the player to watch for this Springboro's defense, other than their tremendous secondary, of course, but made some really good plays 2 weeks ago against Centerville. Was everywhere off the edge.
Yeah, Springboro had a fantastic game there against the Elks here on their home field. Handoff goes to number 1, Lewis, and Lewis is brought down in the backfield back at the 41-yard line.
Etheridge with the tackle for loss.
They'll spot the ball on the 42, so that's going to make it 3rd and 11.
Some really stingy defense, as you see here on the City Barbecue replay in these last 2 plays after giving up the big chunk yardage to Yerkins.
Etheridge watched the ball and immediately hit the ball carrier and brought him down.
So another passing situation.
That's the end of the first quarter. We've got 7-0 Miamisburg Vikings over the Springboro Panthers. We've got just a quick break. So what do you think so far after our predictions earlier in the game? Are you seeing what you thought you'd see, or any surprises so far in the first quarter?
Well, my takeaways from the first quarter is the Miamisburg really improving on their situational play. Last week, 3 of 8 in 3rd down conversions, and most of them came in the second half. They really didn't execute on all their opportunities, and so doing that very well, managing the game very well so far, up 7-0. And on the Springboro side, really just a couple of like mistakes, really holding them back from 1 score. That's all they really need to get back in this game is 1 score. And so I think just need some better execution and way better communication.
There's a beautiful shot from our students working the game this evening down here at Careflight Field in Miamisburg, or excuse me, in Springboro, Ohio. If you go to MVCC.social to find us all over social media, follow us for updates all season long, and join in the conversation using the hashtag CityBBQ CityBBQ Replay. You can also check out the MVCC.fans for real-time live scores or our MVCC Game of the Week games. Engage now at MVCC.fans, F-A-N-S.
So we are already getting started with the second quarter here. Flipping side to the field. Vongsi leads the Miamisburg offense out. 3rd and 11.
Panthers hoping to make a stop here. Quarterback finds a receiver under pressure, completes it at the 45, 50, 40, 30, 25, 20. He's going to be knocked out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Now they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 13. Not that he got a little bit further than that, but that's still a heck of a run.
And Michael, the energy surging through this Miamisburg sideline is something to witness. Here in the City's Barbecue Replay, you'll see Vongsi with the poise to get smacked by Calvin Walters on his backside while throwing it, still delivering it to Yerkins, who just makes another statement with a punishing catch and run.
Yeah, nice run there. Luckily, got pushed out of bounds for the Panther side. They were happy to stop him there. So we have 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. 11:49 left to go in the second. Handoff goes up the middle. Runner goes down to, looks like near the 5-yard line. They're going to spot him at the 6.
And that is younger brother Joey Yerkins getting a handoff. And these brothers are just the heart of this team, Michael, defensively and offensively.
Looks like stop there made by number 5. And that's Kessaday once again.
Springboro defense looking a little winded out there.
Kind of spread out across the field. Run goes up the middle, surges forward toward the end zone, and looks like they're going to down the runner at the 3.
Vongsi trying to take advantage of the spacing.
That's going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line now.
Renewal of downs for the Vikings. Real difficult situation for Springboro here, trying to stop this Miamisburg offense, and when it's in its best form, right next to the end zone. Tate Vongsi, look out for a run here.
We've got another timeout called, an official timeout. We've got a player shaken up on the Panthers. Looks like number 12, Mikey Apple, shaken up just a little bit, so hopefully he'll be feeling better shortly. Actually, I think it's not number 12. Looks like number 42, Cameron Snur.
So the Panthers secondary need to look out for a bootleg here from Tate Vongsi, something they really love to do because it gives them the choice to pass usually 2 guys that are running routes right in front of them or just dive it in the end zone. So see what they do here in this goal line stand.
Clock starts again.
Cale Parkhurst, the linebacker, in.
Run up the middle. Surges forward, and there's the signal.
Wow.
You've got another Vikings touchdown. 10:36 left to go in the first half, and Miamisburg has put it into the end zone twice.
How about the awareness from the senior quarterback? 2 quarterback sneaks in a row up the middle, and seeing the formation and really knowing how they're going to divide.
Yeah, nice play.
Vongsi goes for his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. An incredible 14 so far total.
Kick is up and good, so that puts the Vikings with a 14-point lead. 10:36 left to go in the first half.
Miamisburg with a very strong hold on the momentum of this game so far. So my guess, Michael, that Springboro is going to be very aggressive coming out here.
I would think so. Yeah, they've got to do something to get back into this game and get some momentum going.
They have to do something.
after being pushed back like that. Even just 3 or 4 yards at a time those last couple plays, but even just those 3 or 4 yards were enough to get into the end zone and really kind of take some of the wind out of their sails. So,
well, I think back to that first drive and the 4th and 1 situation when Landon Palmer was expecting to go for it and they
Right.
called him off the field.
Right.
And that's going to haunt their minds for the rest of this game if they lose it. I really think it is.
There in the background, you hear the Springboro band trying to cheer on their team a little bit.
Coming out here, Reese Bryant will be kicking it off for Miamisburg.
Low kick fielded at the 19-yard line.
Eric Myers gets completely halted.
And he picks up about 5 yards on the return. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 23 or 24-yard line. So, yeah, he picked up 5 on the return.
Cale Parker's on the play, as well as Connor Musgrove for Miamisburg special teams.
So we've got the Panthers starting out 1st and 10 from their own 24.
So Landon Palmer with 4 receivers and Willian Yates right next to him.
Man in motion coming to the near side. Handoff goes up the middle. And the runner gets out to, looks like the 33-yard line. And now we have 2 late flags. One during the play and one at the far end coming in from downfield. And let's see here on the replay.
And that's a situation that the Miamisburg.
Defense number 31.
Yeah, it's number 31 making play. Jamal Evans getting a face mask on there. Looks like both the flags are for the one call.
The Miamisburg defensive line is going to have to step up and completely stop that tonight. Throughout the game, Willian Yates getting up the middle and past the first level.
Looks like they declined the penalty, so they've got 1st and 10 there.
And as I was saying, they need to stop him. That's just what they do. Right up the middle, Jackson Gebhardt, who's been a nice piece for this Miamisburg defense, just under 30 tackles on the season with 2 sacks.
Loss of 1 on the play makes it 2nd and 11 at the 38-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle. And that looks like number 1, Yates again. And
Tackled.
Yates moves out to the 43.
Tackle by Jackson Myers there and almost got into open space. Looks like he was tripped up there as he began to cut right.
3rd and 6 at the 43 for the Panthers. Quarterback's back, finds a receiver at the top of the screen, and receiver goes down at the 48-yard line.
And
That
I
was
do
number
not
3,
think
Quigley.
that's not a first down, Michael.
No, short by a yard, so it's 4th and 1 again.
And as we were just talking about them being more aggressive, I think they'll keep them out now. They'll keep their offense out there
Yeah.
for a 4th and 1.
I don't think they can afford to give up this opportunity.
And they can't afford to lose this situation either.
Run
and
up the middle.
Willian
and he's
Yates,
got it.
he tripped. He might.
But he went forward, it looks like, to the 50 or just shy of the 50, and that's enough for a first down.
They
He's
give
got it by
Yates the
about a
run.
foot.
That was
Watch here,
very close.
He gets tripped up, but then he falls forward and lands, and the ball goes down just shy of the 50-yard line. So he got just enough on that forward progress there. Pass complete to number 13 across the middle, and he goes down at the 40-yard line.
Beautiful slant right there as the guy who would have had that lane of help coverage was caused down by the slot flat.
Myers with a nice catch there. 1st and 10 on the 40 for the Panthers. Ball on the Miamisburg 40, I should say. Quarterback keeps. He goes up the middle, and looks like he's going to pick up about 3 yards.
Springboro with this nice no-huddle offense now, calling every play very quickly as Ryan Wilhite with some nice communication to his offense from the sideline. And they'll have trips on the left side here. A very dangerous trips at that. Yates.
Run up the middle. He's got some room. He's at the 30, 25, and is going to be brought down at about right on the 25-yard line, looks like.
Yates, the man who torched Beaver Creek. You see a little bit of his shiftiness there, and they were missing that for the first 5 games of the season.
Will Percival, number 75, making the tackle there. And also looks like kind of leading the tackle there, number 2, Cameron Moore.
The read option picked apart there by Miamisburg, and Jackson Myers up there with Connor Musgrove. Nice read.
Loses yards. That's going to make it 2nd and 11 with 8 minutes to go.
Springboro, nice job of keeping the momentum going after the 4th down conversion so far, but time will come where they will have to pick out a big play.
Ball on the 25-yard line. Quarterback's looking for receiver. Under pressure, running to the sideline, passes downfield, and that ball goes out of bounds. Incomplete. So that'll make it 3rd and 11 at the 25.
Good pressure applied by Miamisburg, forcing Palmer into a high-pressure situation, running towards the sideline.
I think he wisely chose to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, big 3rd down and 10 here. At this point, down 14-0 to this Miamisburg team. Any play could define the game.
Looking to the far side, going to the end zone. He's got a receiver.
What a catch!
And he comes down with it.
Will-Jan Yates.
Nice play. Beautiful catch there in the far corner of the end zone. Wasn't sure if he was going to come down with that, but he was able to go up, get his hands on the ball, squeeze it tight, and bring it in. So that puts the Panthers on the board with 7:33 left in the first half.
Such a dynamic playmaker this kid is. Really set the tone of the entire drive by finding space throughout a couple times.
There's a nice end zone shot. Hopefully we'll be able to watch the replay of the touchdown in just a little bit after the kick. Now we've got a little bit of a break in the action. Now it looks like we had a player shaken up on that last play. Oh, once again, still kind of shaken up there. Miamisburg's number 12, that is Jackson Gebhardt. Trainers went out to take a look at him. Now they've brought him off the field, so the play clock starts.
And that guy is the kind of weapon that can change your season, and you're seeing it right now. Is if Springboro wins this game, number 1 will be a gigantic part of it as they come up with the score there, 7-14.
Long snapper there, number 9, Lucas Etheridge. Holder is number 12, Mikey Apple. And kicking through the uprights is number 8, Owen Brown. So that puts the score 14-7 now.
Personal foul.
And we have a late flag.
Number 6.
Foul was called against number 6, Patrick Bodkin, roughing the kicker.
Penalized on the kickoff.
Penalty assessed on the kickoff.
And that's the drive that Springboro required to get back in this game. Landon Palmer is going to live off that kind of momentum, especially with his 65% completion percentage. He's used to going small and efficient, and they've given him more freedom to use that arm as the season goes. And now with playmakers like Will-Jan Yates throwing him in with Brandon Thomas, Eric Myers, Casey Quigley, this should be a fun Springboro offense to watch for the entirety of the season.
15-yard penalty is assessed, so the kickoff will be from the Miamisburg 45-yard line. So he's going to have to try and kick this one a little bit light if he can drop it just outside the end zone rather than giving him a touchback. See if they just goes for a little squib kick or what he's going to do here. Ball fielded back at the 8-yard line.
And that is Zion Lewis. Tripped up short. Etheridge on the tackle.
Looks like he's marked at about the 24-yard line. About a 16-yard return.
And Steve Chanel is going to play it very close here, very conservative, because he knows the next score can put this game in a place where they cannot reach it.
Bigger deficit. Ball spotted on the 23. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. So not bad field position, getting it at the 23 now. Vongzi comes back in with the play from the sideline. 10 seconds left on the play clock. One receiver at the top of your screen. Man in motion is number 16. Handoff goes up the middle. And he's got a little bit of room, breaking through some tackles and heading out to, looks like, the 31-yard line.
Number 16, Jackson Myers. Great decoy back there, but Zion Lewis straight up the middle. Ended up ripping off a really good chunk. And
number 40, Lincoln Troxel, helping out on the tackle there.
Nice play for the Vikings to set the tone for this drive.
2nd and 1 at the 31, almost the 32-yard line, so about a yard to go. Quarterback keeper up the middle. He's got enough for the first down and looks like about 4 more. So the ball is spotted just across the 45, almost the 46-yard line. Oh, they spotted it across the 46 now. Okay.
So another
So 1st and
successful QB sneak for Miamisburg. And a nice short yardage staple in their offense this season. Something they can always rely on.
1st and 10 at the 36.
Also, the concession stands are open for your refreshment needs.
Pass to the near sideline. Incomplete. Hit the ground before the receiver got his hands on it. I think he caught it as it was touching the ground to number 11, Drew Berry. 2nd and 10 at the 36.
Just 6.5 minutes ago in this second quarter.
Jackson Myers, the leading receiver for the Vikings. 11 catches, 204 yards coming into tonight, averaging almost 19 yards per catch. Drew Berry, 13 catches for 162 yards. Zion Lewis, 8 catches, 129 yards, averaging over 16 yards per catch.
Tate Vongsi with the play action, goes all the way down.
Bounces off the receiver, number 43, Cale Parkhurst.
And it just didn't look like he was ready on that one.
Watch the replay here. The ball heads down to him.
Play action.
Yeah, nice fake to
Zion
Lewis. The ball goes down, hits him, and then bounces off. He's unable to come down with the catch. Tight coverage on there by number 19, Max Yost.
Very
I know we saw Yost a
interesting
couple
play.
weeks ago all over the field against Centerville. And looks like he's doing the same thing, performing just as well this evening.
Yeah, nice defensive back. Part of that masterful secondary, and you saw it there as a play not a lot of teams would diagnose. Cale Parkhurst, starting
Right.
middle linebacker, surging down the field, ready for a pass. Vongsi back, screen to Yerkins.
He's got some room, moves out to the 45, and just barely across the 45.
And great block there, the lead block by Kyle Vaughn, senior number 72 right there. Yerkins talking to him. You see here on the City Barbecue replay, Yerkins running right behind him.
Now the spot has been moved back to the 44, so that's going to make it 4th and 2.
Miamisburg has shown the ability to capitalize on 4th down conversions many times. They'll bring in Grant Smith again. He's played tight end a few different times tonight. Number 35.
See if they'll surge up the middle again and try and drive it like they did on the previous drive. Oh, and we have early movement flag.
And
that's
they
going to give them
got
a free
him.
first down.
That'll be Springboro's number 45, Dylan Cripe.
Yep. Cripe gave up a free 5 yards, and he does not look too happy with himself on that play. So we've got 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 49-yard line.
That's exactly what that play is designed
Yeah.
to do. And you see there, number 56, Colin Schaefer, just taking the push.
He tried to time it just right and get a little bit of a jump, but jumped too early and cost him 5 yards and a first down. Handoff comes to the near side. That's number 1, Lewis again. Lewis moves across midfield and goes down at the Springboro 45-yard line.
Some nice blocking scheme there.
Close to the 44. Looks like we're going to have 2nd and about 3.
Nice play. They had Kyle Vaughn pulling to the right. That kind of sealed off Lewis's run. Go for a nice chunk. 2nd and 4 here.
Edge of the ball just touching right on the 45-yard line. So, yeah, 2nd and 4 there.
Great play calling so far by Miamisburg, making every situation just manageable enough.
Yeah, picking up some slow, steady yardage, and then every once in a while getting a little bit bigger play. Runner's going to pick up about a yard on the play there, almost 2 yards. Looks like 3rd and 2.
Believe it or not, Michael, I think we'll see a pass here, actually. pretty confident in that. Miamisburg usually likes to line up in the wing tee in these type of situations. But I think they'll try to catch him off guard.
There you saw a little bit ago, Vongzi getting the play from Chanel.
It looks like they are going to run it.
Run
Straight
up
up
the
the middle with Vongzi again. The QB sneak works.
And he picked up, they needed 2. He got 3, almost 4.
And
So it looks like they're going to spot him. They're going to spot the ball right on the 40. So he picked up 2 yards and about a foot. So 1st and 10, the ball just inside the Panther 40-yard line.
The young men, Colin Schaefer, senior center, and Colin Schaefer and Kyle Vaughn lined up next to each other on that play, just rammed through the defense and paved the way.
Handoff up the middle once again. He's got a little bit of room, pushes through some tackles, and moves down to the 32-yard line. That was number 16, Myers, once again running the ball. 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 at the 32.
Jackson Myers is a nice double-edged sword. Really good on defense, manning the linebacker corps, and always reliable receiver. He's coming out of that backfield for a couple years now as a rotational back, really.
Run up the middle once again. And that's enough for a 1st down once again. Ball's going to be spotted near the 28-yard line. That's enough for a 1st down for the Vikings.
And I think the Springboro defense at halftime, the defensive coaches are going to be trying to speak some fire into them out there. The middle of the defense is just soft as cookie dough, getting thrown around out there. Really just going straight up the middle.
Colin Alcorn, number 78, helping open up that gap up the middle for the Vikings. Let the runner squeak on through. So we have 1st and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line. And once again, handoff up the middle. And looks like they pick up 3, and they're down to the 25 now.
Across the 25-yard line, tackle made by 64, Urban Smith.
Smith making the tackle on that play for the Panthers.
So Miamisburg, nice and steady drive. I talked about that time of possession battle last week with Fairmont. They lost 29-16.
Now they're just at the end of that last play, number 43, Cale Parkhurst, who we saw went down for the pass a little bit ago. Looks like he came off the field a little bit tender, like he's limping a little bit over on the sideline. Looks like he might have been shaken up just a little bit on that last play. So
and that'll be a huge detriment to that Miamisburg defense. So I don't think they'll be playing him in offense for the next couple of weeks.
We've got a timeout on the field. Tonight's Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information.
So 2 minutes to go in this one. Steve Chanel handling this situation very delicately and with a lot of confidence, really. Tate Vongzi has shown composure in every single battle that he has faced here in the past 3 years at Miamisburg.
Has looked pretty smooth so far as getting the ball nice and comfortable to the runners or finding a gap if he's making the pass and getting it where he wants it to be.
And the kid is super talented, but he puts a lot of work into just doing the little things really well, just being a very good game manager. That's something that is a dying art, especially in our game, as it gets more flashy and away from the fundamentals, is those game manager type quarterbacks.
2nd and 7, ball on the 25-yard line, 2:22 left in the first half. Hand off again, runners got room. That looked like, was that number 1, Reese Bryant?
That was John Yerkins on the play.
Oh, sorry.
See here on the City Barbecue replay, nice, patient, and shifty, using his blocks and advancing to the 3rd level very quickly.
Yerkins got to the 20-yard line, so we've got 3rd and 1.
And let's see if they line anybody up on the nose to stop that quarterback sneak. And they'll run it again.
Yeah, we have a flag. That's going to be early movement
against
Miamisburg. Yeah. Right side of the line, he jumped a little bit. And that's going to cost them. They went from 3rd and 1, now 3rd and 6.
But that
back
is
at
not
the 25.
good at all, Michael. As I saw Colin Schaefer, starting center, has had a big night in front of Tate Vongzi, limping a little bit after that play.
You don't want to see that.
Play clock to 15 now. We'll have
Barry
to set
comes
up
in
quick.
with the play and heads out to the wide receiver spot on the top of the screen. Vongzi takes the ball under center.
And a double
reverse,
handoff.
yeah. And then the play is broken up by number 40, Lincoln Troxel.
So great read there by Springboro, and Lincoln Troxel making a huge difference.
Ball's back to the 28-yard line. So we're back to 4th and 10.
And the Vikings offense is still out there. Apparently they feel really confident. I think they're just going to try to run the clock as much as they can and then go for the home run.
Yeah, punt's not going to give them much. So they might as well go it even if they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turn this drive
if
into...
they got a touchback, it's going to be at the 20. They're only at the 28 now, so they might as well go ahead and give it a shot, see what they can do.
Turn this drive into a huge chunk of clock.
38 seconds on the clock, and now we've got a timeout called.
Yeah, I think they're actually going to punt it here. Just trying to take up that time.
Miamisburg calls their 3rd timeout. So we talked earlier about the Miamisburg season. We've got the Springboro season. They started out with a loss against Mason. They won in week 2, win against Middletown, lost to Gahanna, lost to Fairmont, a win versus Centerville, 35-0 here on their home field. A heck of a game there. I'm sure the entire town was excited that night, and the student section was going crazy. We were down here for the earlier game of the week a couple weeks ago. Tonight versus Miamisburg at home. Next week they're going to be home versus Fairborn, and they're going to end up the final 2 games of the season on the road, October 19th at Northmont and October 26th at Lebanon. And once again, just like Miamisburg, 3 out of the 4 last games are going to be conference games. So once again, they're trying to position themselves better for the playoff run at the end of the season. So with the 3-3 record coming into tonight's game, they definitely need a couple more W's to put them in better shape for the playoffs.
Vongzi leading out the offense here on 4th and 10. They will go for the home run before the half.
He's got a receiver across the middle. It's complete.
Oh, wow. Jackson Myers.
And no, he's dropped.
Flat out dropped it. Vongzi threading the needle through 2 Springboro defenders. Great throw, great composure, but Myers just not able to come up with it.
I thought he was going to hold on to that ball. He had it right in the breadbasket, right exactly where it needed to be. Oh, and it went through his hands and dropped.
Wow, there was 4 Springboro defenders there, and Vongzi delivered a really good throw.
Turnover on downs gives Springboro the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. 32 seconds left in the first half. Springboro has taken 4 out of the last 5 games against Miamisburg. But you can tell the last couple of years after the coaching change a few years ago in Miamisburg, their program has really picked up.
Yeah.
Run up the middle, moves out to the 31-yard line, looks like.
And this should be interesting because Springboro has shown big play potential throughout the entire season. And so a timeout used by Ryan Wilhite after starting the drive with a run.
So we've got 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 6 now at the 32-yard line.
And I think everybody needs to keep their eyes here on number 2, Brandon Thomas. He has a little under 400 yards receiving on the season, 4 receiving touchdowns, and has been a constant big play threat over and over again.
Yeah, coming into tonight, he already had, I think, 4 touchdowns, averaging about almost 18 yards per catch.
The guy they put in motion a lot to get space on the edge, try and create plays out of the backfield. So see if they use his top end speed to their advantage, much as they did Willian Yates on that last drive. A couple couple players capable of those huge plays, and only one safety back now. That'll be interesting for Landon Palmer's big arm.
He looks to the top of the screen, far sideline, and overthrows the receiver. And now we've got 2 flags on the play. Pass was intended for number 2, Brandon Thomas.
And that is going to be incredibly controversial. And you can already see the replay.
Let's watch the replay. He might have gotten a little shove from behind. He was looking for the flag. It looks like he got a little shove from the Miamisburg defender.
Might have been a little bit, but I really think that was overthrown by Landon Palmer.
You can hear in the background of our microphones here the Miamisburg crowd. We are sitting on the visitor side doing our broadcast. The Miamisburg crowd is not too happy with that call, or maybe just not happy with their defender making that penalty.
It's very clear that is super controversial.
15-yard penalty on the play, moves the ball out to the 48-yard line and gives the Panthers a first down. 1st and 10 at the 48.
And if Springboro gets a touchdown here, they might have to escort those refs out of the building tonight.
Looking for receiver top of the screen, but is overthrown. He was looking for number 1, Yates, but overthrew him by just a yard or 2.
And needs just a little more of a lighter touch, because he is launching that ball under pressure, so all respect to the kid.
Coverage on the play by number 6, Patrick Bodkin.
And that is the man who gave up the touchdown to Willian Yates on the last drive, so cleaning that
he's staying a
up.
bit tighter on that one
Yeah.
after letting the guy go through before. So we have 2nd and 10 at the 48. 8 seconds left on the clock.
Landon Palmer extending the play. Wow, a dud to the sideline.
Threw it out of bounds to stop the clock with 2 seconds left.
So this will officially be the last play, and I expect Miamisburg to be in the end zone.
Yeah.
in this
Looks
one.
like he threw it in the direction of number 2, Brandon Thomas, but threw it out of bounds to stop the clock and give him one more shot. So we've got 3rd and 10 from the 48 now.
So we'll go for it all on this last play, but
So now we've got 2 safeties deep for Miamisburg.
Really deep. That's deep.
They're back at their own 30-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see if Miamisburg brings a player from the linebacking corps on a surprise blitz.
Handoff.
They don't. Wow.
Run goes up the middle. That's
Timothy
to number
Kessaday.
5, Kessaday.
How
Kessaday's got
bold.
some room. He's down at the 20, the 15, and looks like he's going to go out of bounds at about the 12 or 13-yard line, but time expires. And that's going to be the end of your first half with Miamisburg Vikings 14, Springboro Panthers 7. The teams will head to the locker room. The bands will come out for their performance. What do you think, first half? Are you seeing what you thought you would?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Honestly, I really expect to see Timothy Kessaday in running back way more. He started out really well for the first 4 games, and they switched him to full-time defensive back. So I expect him to see him out there in the second half, and I expect to see a lot more aggressiveness shown by Springboro.
Yeah. What do you think Springboro's going to have to adjust to get back into this game? They're only down by 7, but I don't know that the scoreboard is really showing, the kind of the difference of the teams yet.
Well, I just think that if they play how they played those last 2 drives, it definitely will continue to be a punch-for-punch game. It all depends on if Springboro gets one stop. They just need one stop in this second half, and then they consistently throw their offense at them full force.
All right. This is Michael and Jeff here for your first half. We'll be back with you in just a little bit. Enjoy the halftime show. All right, we are coming back from halftime. Welcome back to Springboro, Ohio, Care Flight Field for tonight's Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. Once again, we're getting ready to kick off the second half of the Miamisburg Vikings at Springboro Panthers here in Springboro, Ohio. You've got about 75 degrees tonight, a little bit humid, but a beautiful night for high school football. We hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast this evening and that you'll check out other games of the week here on MVCC.net. Or you can watch them, or if you have friends and family outside of the area, they can watch it from anywhere in the world by clicking on that same website, MVCC.net, and checking out tonight's game or other games of the week from athletic action all around the Miami Valley, Dayton, Ohio area.
Michael Half 2 is shaping up to be a really good one, actually. Like in the first half, when Miamisburg scored back-to-back, I really thought they were going to run away with this game. But Springboro came back with a punch. Willian Yates deep in the end zone and almost scored. If they would have had some more time at the end of the last drive in the second half,
down there again.
Yeah, they might have scored. So some good momentum shown by Ryan Wilhite in this Springboro's offense. And so let's see if Landon Palmer can get going and get Springboro back in this one, as they will get the ball to start this second half. And this stadium is lighting up.
Panthers are only down by 7, so they can easily get right back into the game. So let's see what they can do. Kick is ready, and we're into our second half. Short kick, fielded at the 28-yard line. Runner's got a little bit of room, and the ball comes out. The ball comes out and is recovered by Miamisburg at the Springboro 49-yard line.
Timothy Kessaday, we were talking about him before the end of the first half, and actually benched from his running back position for fumbling. And so he got the ball that time, and now we see why he does not start at running back anymore.
We're back to live action after our City Barbecue replay. Thank you once again, City Barbecue, for sponsoring that. Yeah, he had a nice run up there in the middle, and then as he was falling forward, there you see the replay now. As he's falling forward, the ball pops out.
And number 5 might have just costed Springboro the game. You give the Vikings back the ball with great field position.
Yeah, 5 seconds into the second half, Miamisburg has a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of Springboro.
Good to see Cale Parkhurst back out there.
Run up the middle, it looks like number 22, Cale Bryant.
That was actually...
Excuse me, Yerkins. Now we have flags. There's some...
he threw John Yerkins down late.
Yeah, some activity on the near sideline, and then we have late flags. We'll see what the call is.
Definitely think it was a little bit of a late hit.
Unnecessary roughness.
Penalty is going to be against Springboro. Number 9, and that is Lucas Etheridge.
So all he had to do was listen to the whistle there and hold up.
Here we see the replay. Runner comes to the near side. Forward momentum stop, the whistle's blown, and then the late throwdown.
And Yost and Etheridge on that one, and they didn't react to that call. It looks like they know exactly what they did.
The ball is now moved to the 28-yard line, so that's a big pickup. Not much of a run, but a big penalty against Springboro. Picks up 15 yards. Now 1st and 10 at the Springboro 28 for the Miamisburg Vikings. Run up the middle again.
Direct handoff to Yerkins.
Runner moves down to the 25. The ball comes out, but it's after the play is whistled dead. So no fumble on that play. Ball spotted at the 25, so a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 at the 25.
Something to look at going in, continuing the second half for the Miamisburg offense is going to be how the center plays. Colin Schaefer, correct me, but he played really well in the first half, dictating the middle of that defense.
That was a shot of some of the Miamisburg drum line there. Second and 7 at the 25. Pitch goes to number 23, Yerkins. Yerkins finds a gap on the far side and moves down to just outside the 10-yard line.
Big play, but there is a flag, and I believe that might be holding on Miamisburg.
Yeah, back in the backfield, about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that one's going to come back. And we've got a player shaken up on the far side. I think that is number 78, Colin Alcorn.
Yeah, Colin Alcorn. Been a really nice starting offensive lineman.
Looks like he might just maybe be cramping up or something, the way they're kind of stretching out his legs a little bit. Here's the replay.
First down.
Colin Schaefer, as soon as the play starts, number 56 holds him.
So after the penalty, his ball is spotted back at the just outside the 35. So that's going to make it 2nd and 15, looks like.
So fortunate for Springboro's defense here that they get all the Vikings pushed back a little bit, force Tate Vongzi's arm to work a little harder here in this one. Get past this stingy Springboro secondary, and I think if they can force a mistake out of Tate Vongzi, the momentum of this game can completely shift towards the Panthers' favor. Be very interesting how they capitalize.
As we see Colin Alcorn back on his feet, that's always good to see. Ball is spotted back just outside the 35, so they're going to mark it 2nd and 17.
And Alcorn been a big part of that group up front of the Yerkins brothers and Lewis. Really paving the way for this offense.
Once again, thank you for watching the Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. We appreciate your watching and hope you enjoy the broadcast. Pass across the middle is tipped and falls incomplete, just off the fingertips of the receiver, number 16, Jackson Myers.
So good play action, but read all the way by Springboro's number 42, Cameron Snurr, in the middle linebacker position. And he tries to catch him directly off guard very quickly. Did not work. You see Kel Parkhurst come in here and play tight end now.
3rd and 17, just outside the 35-yard line. Miamisburg comes back up to the line. 12 seconds on the play clock, 10:25 on the game clock.
I definitely think they're just going to do a simple toss here. No play action.
He's back, passes to the far side. It is tipped in the air, and the defender does not come down with it. Looks like he almost came up with the INT.
So great defense there by number 14, Jared McCarthy, the senior defensive back. But you saw some more of Tate Vongzi's great composure in the pocket, staring in the face of the defense.
Yeah, Kessaday almost came up with the interception on that one, but wasn't able to hold on to it as he stretched out his body and tried to bring it in. That could have been a big game changer right there if he'd have come down with that interception. So we're at 4th and 17. And once again, it looks like Miamisburg is going to go ahead and go for it.
Miamisburg coming out with punches here. 5 receivers, very confident over the middle of the field.
Across the middle, picked off by number 11,
goodness.
Josh Collins.
Josh Collins.
Comes out at the 11-yard line. And now we have a flag.
That was one-handed, Michael. Oh, my goodness. I think it's going to be pass interference, and that will take away Collins' pick.
Let's see what the call is going to be. Right now, it looks like he came down with it at the 11.
Well, Josh Collins looks very disappointed. I think this one's going to come back. Wow. It's so huge mistake by Springboro.
They're bringing the ball back toward the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference.
Yep, you're right. Against number 5, Kessaday.
And all they had to do was simply pat the ball down, and they receive it. They get it on offense, and so I don't understand that one at all.
Went from a big interception to a 15-yard pickup. So that puts the ball on the 20. It's going to make it 4th and 2.
That could affect the game really immensely. And Josh Collins has to be so devastated. A very nice pick from him out of the safety position. Vongzi comes out with Tamar Thomas. Here we go.
And now we have timeout called by Miamisburg.
Steve Chanel seen a formation that he did not like.
Yeah.
Decided to act on that.
Here's the replay again. And you see the pass across the middle and then almost picked off.
It was picked off, but there you see Kessaday. I think it looked like,
intended
like
receiver,
Kessaday.
number 1, Lewis. Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Fairmont, West Carrollton, and Miamisburg High Schools. You can go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this and other games. Typically, you'll see the game Saturday at noon, Sunday at 2 o'clock, and then usually sometime after Monday morning, the games will be available for live streaming on the mvcc.net website. So we hope you'll check it out. Let your friends and neighbors know as well. If anybody misses the live Friday game, they can always check out the broadcast of the games here on the Miami Valley Communications Council. You can also check out mvcc.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in the conversation using the hashtag CityBBQReplay. We hope you enjoy those updates.
And the trend from the first half, we'll see if it goes through here. QB sneaks, and it won't. Toss to Yerkins. Looks like he has the lane.
And
might have been a hold. Yes.
That's
going to be a block in the back or a hold on the offensive line. As you see here on the City Barbecue replay, Josh Collins, number 11, the safety, bursts through. Almost has the tackle, gets knocked down from the back.
There you saw the block in the back on the right side of your screen as the runner was coming to the bottom of your screen.
I think that might have been Zion Lewis who blocked him, but that was definitely coming back on Miamisburg.
Coach did not look too happy when the referee made that call. Not happy with his players at the moment.
Steve Chanel is a fiery guy, and his team feeds off his energy.
Holding call against the offense. So that's going to move the ball back to the 34-yard line. So now it's going to be back to fourth and looks like about 14.
Well, it's definitely going to change their play calling back to the original set of plays. It was 4th and 17. They got a penalty.
And they went for it. So
got them to 4th and 2, and now they're pushed back to 4th and 15.
So let's see what they're going to pull out of the old bag of tricks here. Down to 12 seconds on the play clock. Miamisburg comes to the line.
Big conversion here. Vongzi back.
Looking for a receiver on the near side. Looking for number 11, Barry. And just overthrown. Coverage on the play by number 19, Max Yost.
Definitely good coverage. Yost in front of Barry, halting his progress kind of the whole time, but nonetheless a shaky throw.
Turnover on downs is going to give Springboro the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. So the Miamisburg side got a little bit quieter after that last series. Not quite so thrilled with how their team performed in that series, but they still have a 7-point lead with just under 10 minutes to go left in the third quarter. And Springboro looking, go ahead.
On the other side, Springboro really capitalizing on their opportunity.
Run attempt up the middle is stopped immediately, and looks like the runner's going to lose about a yard on that play.
And Yates will go absolutely nowhere.
As soon as he took the ball and turned forward, he was stopped right there.
Stingy defense cleaning up that Kesede fumble there. They almost gave up a big play a few different times, but their secondary is really what's making and breaking them tonight.
2nd and 11 now. Hand off to Yates. He goes to the far side, and looks like he's going to pick up maybe 2. So it looks like we're going to have 3rd and maybe just back to the line of scrimmage again. Going to be 3rd and 10 back at the 34.
Cale Parkhurst with incredible ability to diagnose that run. He has been leading the Vikings in tackles. Him and Dylan Wudke really leading the way for this Miamisburg defense.
Good to see Parkhurst back in there after we saw him come out earlier, looking a little bit shaken up after one of the plays. Receiver complete to number 1, Yates.
And good all-out blitz, but safety Jamal Evans, who has been everywhere the last couple of weeks, makes the tackle.
Colin Alcorn helping out on there.
As you see here on the City Barbecue replay, all-out blitz up the middle. Jamal Evans, the safety, does a great job of diagnosing the flat little quick out to Willian Yates, and Springboro will come off the field again. Lack of execution really killing them in this game. The 3rd down conversion's a real weakness.
4th and 10 at the 34. Panthers line up to punt. 2 receivers deep back at their own 30-yard line. The punt is up. Long punt going to be fielded. Ball lands at the 30.
Max Yost, good job of downing that punt there. And really unusual to see 2 punt returners, but Zion Lewis and John Yerkins back there.
Tamar Thomas, number 4 for the Vikings, getting pressure on the punter there. But veered off at the last second to make sure he didn't make contact there and cause a penalty. So we've got 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Vikings.
And as long as Chanel's defense is playing like that, he has no problem giving it to Vongzi up by 1 touchdown and managing this game. As I mentioned, the trust he has in his senior quarterback earlier. Number 9 has a lot of poise.
7:58 left. Vongzi passes complete to number 11, Drew Berry. Berry, whistles blow now. The ball is taken away after the whistle blows. Number 11, Josh Collins, took it out of his arms, but the play was already dead. So Berry's marked down, looks like just behind the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 4.
Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the
2nd and 5 now at the 35. Yeah, just outside the 34.
Nice safe completion to start the drive on. Getting that arm going for Tate Vongzi. Coming out in the wing T. And 2 running backs and all the rest tight ends and linemen. And handoff up the middle. I believe that is John Yerkins, 23.
He moves up to the 39-yard line. So looks like they've got about 2 yards to go. Now we've got a player shaken up. Number 55, that is Lucas Windholtz for the Panthers. A little bit slow to get up on that play. So looks like one of the trainers will come out and take a look at him, check him out.
Looks like left leg is really hurt on that one.
There you see the City Barbecue replay coming up.
Windholtz up the middle in the center of that tackle there. Oh, and looks like he folded back, collapsed on that left knee.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be all right soon. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
It doesn't look like any agonizing pain, but we don't know so far. And as you see on the City Barbecue replay once again, handed off up the middle in slow motion. 55 coming behind, and you see him gets under that left leg, kind of folds under him.
Looks like he might have kind of twisted his ankle toward the outside or foot toward the outside as he went down and backwards.
And that never looks good, especially seeing plays like that. Last Sunday, Tyler Eifert really was breaking his foot off his ankle completely. And football can be very gruesome sometimes.
Yeah. Tonight's Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. And there he's back on his feet, but still very tender on that left foot. Doesn't want to put any pressure on that. Can't say we blame him there, but good to see that he's back up and moving around.
Braden Miracle out there helping his teammate. Good to see he can still be helped off and not carted off.
Yes, definitely.
Springboro D will come on now. The big 3rd down conversion, and there's a certain kind of reassurance you have when you can stop a team on 3rd and short and rely on their punter coming out there. But Miamisburg's been very aggressive going for it on 4th down over and over again. So there has to be a draining factor when this defense goes out here on 3rd and short. And if they stop them, you know that it might not be the last play of this drive.
Right. And then we've had some penalties in there, kind of making everything topsy-turvy as well.
Definitely an interesting factor.
Go. Looks like a run is going to be up the middle. Nope. Runner comes to the near side, and he crosses the 40-yard line. Is it going to be enough? I think it is. Yes, there's the referee signaling. That's enough for 1st down.
Some really
Ball's
nice
out to the
deception.
41-yard line.
You see there as the line shifts right,
and the
but
runner,
you see
runner
Zion
comes to
Lewis lead block to the left and seals the edge off to just get enough yards for the 1st down. A nice shift by that offensive line.
Looks like the runner went over the top of number 19, Yost. Yost slowed him down but wasn't able to fully make the stop. Run comes to the near side again. And Tackle is made, looks like by number 42, Cameron Snurr. So picked up 3 yards on there. 2nd and 7, ball at the 45-yard line.
And it's looking like so far that the rest of this game is going to rest upon the shoulders of Miamisburg offensive line. They're really taking chunks off of the clock every single play.
Yeah. We're down to 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes now and counting. Run goes up the middle, immediately wrapped up by the Springboro defense, and only gains maybe a yard. So that'll make it,
They
looks
got
like
2. 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. Okay, they spotted the ball out at the 47-yard line. So slow but sure, getting 2 or 3 yards at a time, and every once in a while making a bigger pickup.
Yeah, slightly more manageable here, and I think they will turn to number 9's arm. Their leader, Tate Vongzi. Line up in the wing tee once again. Toss to the left.
He finds the gap.
Execution.
He's at 45-40 and is knocked out of bounds by number 11, Josh Collins, after he crosses the 40 to the 39-yard line. So that's enough for a big first down
And here
for
you go
Miamisburg.
again. Great design there as you bring Kyle Vaughn back to get the guy who slips through
And if
from the
Collins,
side.
if Collins hadn't have stopped him, he had about 35 open yards to go right into the end zone.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 at the 39, another big first down for the Vikings.
Just playing it situation by situation. A game Steve Chanel is very good at. He took the lead early, and now he is just holding on to it for dear life. And the
Pitch again to the
exact
near
same
side to
play.
Lewis. And he goes out of bounds at about the same spot. So right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on there. The clock continues to run.
And that play was identical to the last one just ran. You see John Yerkins directly to the right. Zion Lewis swiftly going out to the left.
Lewis brought down just inside the sideline marker, so the clock continued to run. Stop made by number 9, Lucas Etheridge. 2nd and 10 from the 39. And just over 4.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Still 14-7. Vikings lead by 7.
Lewis in motion, play action to number 1. Pass to Yerkins.
The ball
Fumble.
pops out.
And Springboro will have it.
Yep. Springboro comes down with the ball, and it looks like they're going to mark the Panthers' ball at the 33-yard line. So a big
Sure-handed
turnover.
Yerkins.
Let's
And
watch the replay sponsored by City Barbecue here.
beautiful design. They even pull number 73 along with Vongzi. But Yerkins just gets absolutely popped by McCarthy. Ball comes out recovered by Calvin Walters.
Big hit by McCarthy on that play, forcing the turnover.
And it really, you don't see that often. John Yerkins is really sure-handed, even when he's running with the football.
Springboro takes 1st and 10 from their own 33. Back to pass, complete to number 13, Eric Myers. Myers goes down just behind the 40-yard line.
And he's been a big part of the Springboro offense now for 2 years in a row.
Picks up almost 7 on that play. It's going to be 2nd and a long 3, not quite 4 yards there.
Springboro will try to establish their quick strike offense once again here. Willian Yates open field, and that's where he is dangerous, but great open field tackle by Yerkins. What a monster out there.
Yates only picks up about 1.5 yards on the play, so he's going to move out to the 41. And now we've got an official timeout for a player shaken up.
And as you
Might be,
see on the
might
City
be
Barbecue
Jaworski there.
replay, and little plays like that are what makes him the heart of the team. And he just made a mistake, but he turned around here and completely forgets about it. And that is
That's number
defensive
6,
back.
Bodkin.
Bodkin, he's been pretty solid this game, other than the touchdown given up to Yates.
Colin Alcorn, number 78, the player still down on the far side. So we have an official timeout, 3:39 left on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
It honestly just looks like cramps.
Hey, I've had a few players that same situation tonight with this humidity. Seems like they're sweating out all their fluids, and time to stock up on some more, load up on some more Gatorade.
Really massaging it.
Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 at noon on Saturday and 2 p.m. on Sunday. Check out the hashtag CityBBQReplay. So we've got Alcorn back on his feet, slowly walking off to the side, but walking all right.
As you see,
Looks like he got kind of landed on by number 79, Alex Miller.
Yeah, and that
for the
calf just
Panthers.
started seizing up.
But at least he's all right and walking off under his own power. So definitely good to see. We don't want to see anybody hurt in these games.
Yeah, I mean, cramps are more serious than it seems because for the rest of the night, he is going to think
Right.
about that when he's putting momentum on that right foot, really hard momentum. He's going to think about it seizing up again.
Here's a shot of number 13, Eric Myers for the Panthers. Quarterback in shotgun, man in motion. Pass to the far side. He breaks free from a tackle and the moves out to about the 42-yard line. So a short pickup on the play.
Willian Yates gets a little space, tries to create something, but Jackson Myers makes him pay.
Now they spot the ball at the 43 and signal for a first down.
So it looked like a first down from my point of view, and it actually was. Good job by Yerkins.
Yeah.
Wrapping him up again.
Looks like momentum took him out to the 43 where the ball was, but then as he was hit, he was driven backwards. So it looks like the spot was right there on the 43.
Solid spot. Interestingly enough, we'll see Kessaday in the backfield now. First time in a while.
Pass to the near side, intended for number 13. That is complete to Eric Myers. Myers goes down. He is tackled by number 2, Cameron Moore.
That is a concept they love to exploit, Michael. Eric Myers runs the slant route a lot.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line of Miamisburg. Pass across the middle falls incomplete. Looks like it was intended for Thomas.
Some miscommunication there on that play.
Intended for number 2.
As you see on the replay, going straight down the seam. Palmer back again, looking for Dickerson. Dickerson with the juke. And nice moves from the big tight end. Cameron Dickerson is often an X factor for this offense. He slips out and makes big plays with his athleticism, but he's also a really solid blocker in the run game.
He gets down to the 36-yard line to make it 3rd and 1. Third and short. Let's see if they're just going to try and rush up the middle or handoff up the middle and immediately stopped.
Jackson Myers right there. Jackson Myers and Jackson Gebhardt up the middle, and that goes absolutely nowhere.
Lost 2. So he lost 2 yards. He's back to the 38-yard line.
That'll be 4th and 3.
4th and 3, yep. And you hear
Five
the Miamisburg
receivers.
crowd getting into it now. You can hear them outside our broadcast booth.
Quigley, Yates, Thomas, Dickerson, Myers. Here we go.
Pass across the middle is batted down.
And wow, great coverage there in the slot on Willian Yates. Here on the City Barbecue replay, should have waited just a few more seconds for Yates and his route to really develop, but tried to fit it in there, but was not getting it past John Yerkins.
Broken up by number 23, Xavier Trent. So now we have turnover on downs, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Vikings take over the ball. 1:49 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
And it's very interesting to see John Yerkins, who fumbled the ball on the last drive, make huge defensive plays to clean up his mistake. Really nice to see that from one of your senior leaders.
Well, that was Yerkins. I read off the wrong roster. Sorry about that.
Lewis to the outside. He has a seam.
He's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Chase pressure. 10, 5.
Zion
and he falls.
Lewis.
He goes down at the 1.
He is down at the 1. Josh Collins, how about the play? Senior safety saving a touchdown.
Let's watch the replay on that. He's got a nice pickup here. Handoff to the right side. He finds a gap. That's Lewis.
And how about the
3 defenders there. Gets down to the 35, the 30 there. And number 11 Collins finally gets him, and he goes down just at the 1 yard line.
That is right at the 1.
First and goal inside the 1 yard line.
For Miamisburg winning the little play game. They're not coming up with home runs. They're simply just making the little plays that lead to home runs. 73, Evan McGuire blocking, sealing the edge right there.
A minute and a half left in the third quarter. Run up the middle.
Oh, reliable.
And there's the signal. It's another touchdown for the Vikings.
That is number 9 for Tate Vongsi. His 9th rushing touchdown of the year. The quarterback thriving.
Number 9 for number 9. There's a shot of the Miamisburg student section cheering on their team.
Colin Schaefer. Some more big plays from the center there.
Kick by number 21, Reese Bryant, is good. So that gives the Vikings a 21-7 lead. They're up by 14 with 1:24 left in the third quarter.
And it looks increasingly dim for the Springboro Panthers as you get the ball back. 1:24 left in the third. Don't got much time at all, and Miamisburg has been very stingy on both sides of the ball. And as you see
There you see the
here,
replay on the run again.
doing all the little right things. But how about that angle by Josh Collins, man?
And he
Just
was
getting all.
just able to get him by the heel. Wow.
It ended up being a touchdown anyways, but you have to tip your hat to that young man.
Yeah, he got where he needed to be as quick as he could and was able to get a hold of the knee just enough to trip up Lewis and keep him from getting into the end zone on that play. So
Yeah, he is having a great season away from the stat sheet, and I expect him to see on the All-GWalk list Josh Collins.
getting ready to kick off for the Vikings once again is number 21, Reese Bryant. Here's a nice field shot of the kickoff. Shorter kick again. Ball drops at the 30, fielded by
Here we
number
go,
5,
Kessaday.
Kessaday.
Had the fumble last time, but just goes straight into the
He moves
pile
out
of
to
defenders.
the 35-yard line where he goes down. So the Panthers will start out first and 10 from their own 35. Short kick there.
And it's definitely time to capitalize now or never. This third quarter ending. And if you give the ball back to Tate Vongsi one more time without a score, he is going to make you pay.
I wonder if that was just a design play on the kickoff, if they tried to keep it short, or if that was just a goof on there. Now we've got early movement on the Miamisburg line, offsides.
Percival jumping.
That'll advance the ball 5 yards and repeat the down.
Defense number 75, 5-yard penalty.
First and 5.
And not something that happens often, as Will Percival has been a way above average defensive lineman this season. Palmer
Pass
looking
comes
to
to the near
Dickerson.
side, and just
Wow.
off his fingertips, incomplete.
Bounced straight off of his hands, and it looked like he was yelling at Landon Palmer. I don't know why. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, he has an isolated route, a quick out route too. And it was thrown a little outside, but he definitely was able to get that.
Second and 5, still at the 40. Quarterback under pressure and is brought down back at, looks like the 37-yard line.
And his first two reads were not there. He panicked right away, and with great reason, as Jackson Gebhardt was in there. A few different guys. Percival ends up coming away with the sack. That's close to his third on the season.
3rd and 8. Now at the 32. Pass across the middle is incomplete.
And not on the same
And now
page
we
at
have a
all.
flag.
That's grounding. They're gonna call grounding on that one. I believe they're gonna be called.
Yeah, I didn't
calling
really see a
grounding.
receiver in that area. There
Well,
was
I
one guy
think-
closer to the line.
Yeah, I think it was a screen to Gates, and he just really overthrew it. Yeah, he's pointing to Gates. I think they're talking about it being grounding, but I don't think it's going to end up being that way.
The Springboro players trying to get in on the huddle right there and see what's going on.
Well, I think they're going to call grounding, judging by the expressions holding them back. I definitely think that was an intended screen and it shouldn't have been called grounding, but that's why I'm not in black and white, apparently, Michael.
Dickerson there kind of wanting to stay in on the conversation, check out what's going on. So his players, other players finally telling him to back off a little bit, give the ref some room.
I think it's...
So let's see what the official call is going to be. There's the ref on the left side.
Yep, okay. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, the flag is waved off. No
Yeah.
penalty.
They conversated and they decided that it was an intended screen, and I
Yeah.
think they're going to punt it. Yep, 4th and 8.
4th and 8.
A
Ball
very
on the
dangerous-
37-yard line.
Very dangerous decision either way to give the ball back
Drew
or
Berry,
go for it.
Drew Berry is back for Miamisburg, back at about his own 25-yard line, looking for the ball.
John Yerkins will also get in back there.
There he goes. No wind really at all out there on the field tonight. Kick is out. Got a little bit shorter kick, goes toward the sideline. And goes out of bounds. They are going to spot it. Where is he back to? About the 28-yard line is where it goes out.
So here we go. This drive could put it away, Michael.
We've got 39 seconds on the official game clock, 21-7. Vikings have the lead over the Springboro Panthers here at Care Flight Field in Springboro, Ohio. You got Jeff Allen and myself, Michael Sliger, calling tonight's game for Miami Valley Communications Council. We hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast and that you'll check in for other broadcasts throughout the season.
Now we got a huge drive coming up now, ladies and gentlemen.
Check out MVCC.fans for real-time live scores or our MVCC Game of the Week games. Engage now at MVCC.fans. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, City Barbecue and Miami Valley Adaptive Sports. We appreciate everything you do.
A quick run to Yerkins for about 5, and I'm expecting a long rolling drive. I'm expecting one play here to run the clock out, and then I don't think Springboro's getting this ball back until Miamisburg has scored, and there's about 7 minutes left on the clock, honestly.
Yeah, they definitely want to chew up some clock with a 14-point advantage. And they're going to let the clock run out, so that's going to be the end of your third quarter. Once again, Miamisburg Vikings 21, Springboro Panthers 7, and that's the official end of the third quarter. There's once again a field shot from the end zone. You see the Springboro home side on the right side of your screen and the visitor side. Miamisburg, they're on the left-hand side. If you look really closely on the left side of your screen, the little yellow window, that's where we're at. There's a nice shot of Care Flight Field and the home side stands.
Gorgeous stadium.
Yes, very nice. You see on the far right side of the stands is the Springboro Panther Band, and just the section to the left of that is the student section.
A very impressive facility. One of the newer stadiums within GWalk as a conference.
Here's some of the Viking cheerleaders on the side, and the Viking team getting in there to kind of cheer each other on and pump each other up a little bit.
They got one more drive, and that's, if I'm Steve Chanel, I'm in there telling them one more drive. You get it down there, you put it away, and you punish them here.
So Vongzi came into tonight's game with a quarterback rating of 181.2. I think that may even go up a little bit after tonight's performance. He's had a good night.
Extremely impressive, and doesn't do too much. He always does what you ask of him.
Run to the near side.
Joey Yerkins almost for a first down.
Tackles made by number 14, Jared McCarthy. And so the ball is spotted now, looks like at the 37-yard line. So third and 1.
And number 43, Cale Parkhurst, playing tight end, as you saw there on the City Barbecue replay, made that play happen. One back, and Vongzi straight up the middle once again. something you've seen countless times tonight.
Run up the middle, and depending on the spot, looks
That'll
like
be a
we're at
first
the
down.
38-yard line. Very close to a first down, and we're going to have the refs. I think they're probably going to measure here. Nope, there's the call. First down. He got just enough. The nose of the ball is across the 38-yard line marker and gives them enough for the first. So first and 10 on the 38, 11-13, now 11-12 left to go in the fourth quarter.
So already a minute taken off with 2 plays, exactly what I was expecting coming out here in the fourth quarter. Fongzi handoff up the middle. Zion Lewis keeping it going.
Second effort gets him across the 42, almost the 42-yard line.
Spin off of a tackle from the Springboro penetration and ripping off a nice little chunk there,
Yeah.
and we'll bring up 2nd and 6.
4-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 6. There's the run. Second effort gets him around a couple of the tacklers.
And Colin Schaefer has had such a latently good night. Offensive line play is often unnoticed, especially in high school football, but the center has been putting in work tonight. Zion Lewis goes to the right, cuts back in, and almost gets to the first down. I think that'll be 3rd and 1 there,
Yeah, looks like it.
depending on
He's
the
out
spot.
out to looks like the 46 is where they're going to mark it. So yeah, yard short. Kowalski helping out on that tackle, number 54.
And if Steve Chanel has a choice, he's gonna extend every single series to the 3rd down.
Yeah,
Try to chip off every single play he can.
and eat up that clock and get out of here with another W in the column.
And that'll bring them to 6 and 1, and with a really nice playoff case.
Run up the middle, and that looks like it's going to be once again very close to the first down. Let's wait for the official spot. Now the ref on the far side is marking that he's got enough.
See John Yerkins running right behind Zion Lewis.
And that's the first down. Once again, nose of the ball just across that hash mark. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Another first down and another example of offensive linemen and receivers doing exactly what you need them to do. This Miamisburg blocking has been exceptional tonight.
Got to push that line and let the runner get a couple yards, whatever they need.
And when you're an amazing coach, it's all about those little situations. And that's exactly what Steve Chanel is.
Run to the near side, wrapped up. Is that number 48 Feldman maybe?
Lincoln Troxel on the tackle. You saw Evan
Number
McGuire on
40,
the
okay.
pull. Almost got a nice path cleared for Zion Lewis, but tripped up by Troxel at the last second.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 from the 48.
McGuire blocking Calvin Waters on the outside, but not everyone was picked up on that play. So one
Just under
receiver
eight.
in.
Just under 8.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Play action.
Pass across the middle, complete. One-handed catch by number 23, Yerkins.
And only for 3 yards, but a very flashy play nonetheless.
Yeah. He kind of reached back behind him to get the ball. Ball's now spotted on the 48-yard line.
And here you
on
see on the
Springboro
City
side.
Barbecue replay motion by Joey Yerkins, play action. And I pointed out the one receiver, Drew Berry. I think he was looking for him, but did not have enough time to even consider him as an option. He just dumps it off to Yerkins there.
Stop made by number 11, Josh Collins.
And more yards than I thought, actually. 3rd and 6. Bring up a nice and manageable 3rd and 6 at that.
Springboro playing the Darth Vader Imperial theme, trying to fire up their defense and make a stop here.
Toss to the right. That'll be Yerkins.
He finds a gap, moves down close to the 41-yard line.
And a tremendous effort by Jake Kowalski in the backfield, but cannot wrap him up. He just comes up with the first down, and that has been the story for Springboro tonight. Almost. Execution has just been slightly off. And
Yes, they've been close to it, but just not quite getting a finish on some of those plays.
it makes you realize how in-depth they can go into these players' potential. Landon Palmer, only a junior, I know some of these defensive backs are juniors as well. A
There's-
pretty young offensive line, too.
There's the Miamisburg Marching Band firing up the visitors' crowd. And we have a timeout on the field.
Yeah, as I was saying about young players, Brandon Thomas, the team's leading receiver, junior. Yates, a junior. Kessaday, junior. it's crazy when you go down and see how young some of these guys are. But
Yeah.
have
So
some really nice building blocks for their future, and
Right.
Wilhite's doing a good job garnering them.
My timeout was called by Miamisburg on this play. So that leaves them, I believe, with 2 left for the second half. If you'd like to get involved with the Miami Valley Communications Council, you can check out MVCC.net. They are located in Centerville and work with quite a few of the surrounding areas to do all sorts of educational programming, city programming for city government, the school activities, sports activities, all sorts of things around the area. And they also do quite a bit of original programming as well from local residents. So if you'd like to get involved, check out the website and see what's available, or you can go down and learn how to operate some of the equipment and get involved in some of the broadcasts.
It's pretty funny. I predicted for Springboro to get the ball back at 7 minutes
It's 7
left,
minutes.
and they have only gone about 30 yards. That's what's scary. Is I believe they can probably
But they're-
run out the rest of this
Yeah,
game.
but
Wow.
they're eating up the clock. So.
Every second of it. Doing a great job, and out comes Vongzi in this seasoned offense. No receivers, wing T. As anticipated, Yerkins up the middle.
He finds a big gap, moves across the 30, and there's a late hit, but no flag. I'm surprised that there was not a flag on that play.
Here you go, the City Barbecue replay. Nice job by the line, opening up.
So he goes down right on the 30-yard line. At the end of the play, off your screen to the left-hand side, the quarterback was dropped with what looked like might have been a late hit, but the referee did not choose to throw the flag.
Vongzi, a very valuable piece, and the one thing that might not stand out to you right away about his stature is he is such a trunky quarterback. He has gigantic calves, gigantic stature.
Run up the middle again, and the runner is going to get down to just outside the 25. So pickup of about another 5, 2nd and 5, just outside the 25, with just over 6 minutes left to go in the 4th.
They'll bring in Parkhurst as a tight end. They've used that formation many times tonight. It worked out a lot. Almost as good as a blocker as he is a linebacker.
10 seconds on the play clock and counting. Vikings come up to the line, looking to chew up some more time. Handoff up the middle again. He
Joey
finds some room.
Yerkins.
He's down to the 15 and goes down. It looks like at the 13-yard line, maybe the 12, depending on where they spot the ball.
And a nice run after the cutback.
And now it looks like we have down on the field is number 11, Josh Collins for Springboro. He's down at about the 11-yard line, involved on that tackle, and went down hard.
If Josh Collins goes down, so does this Springboro D. He is really a central point for that defense, the safety, a leader. Only a junior, though. You see on the City Barbecue replay,
You see
and
Yerkins
McGuire pulling right,
cut
and then
back in.
Yerkins cuts inside of his block.
Looks like Collins, looks like one of the players rolled onto the back of his leg as he was already going down, and one of the Miamisburg players slid and then ended up going down on the back of his leg. So may have kind of twisted his calf or his knee or something, but it looks like he's getting back up and able to put some pressure on it. Hopefully just be able to walk it off and let things relax a little bit.
It's very good to see.
Yeah. So far we haven't had any serious injuries here tonight. Looks like a few players shaken up a little bit here and there, but everybody's been able to get back up and walk off, and one guy helped off the field, not putting pressure on his ankle. So hopefully he'll be all right soon as well. So the ball is spotted just outside the 13-yard line.
And with
First and
5:39 left.
We've seen him out there quite a bit, making all sorts of plays for Springboro. So, yeah, that loss will definitely be felt for them on this game.
Oh, that just sucks.
Miamisburg coming back on. Oh, there's one of our crowd shots. Happy young fan there. With, looks like his mom waving from the Miamisburg side. So it looks like they're having a good time. She's saying Miamisburg's number 1. He's counting number 2. He's doing well with his numbers.
Offended by number 34, Calvin Walter. Short gain on the play, maybe a yard.
So Yerkins goes nowhere,
Yeah,
but
not much at
starts
all
the
on there.
clock running down again.
Couple feet, if that. So the ball spotted just outside the 12-yard line. We'll call it 2nd and 9. There's Collins back on his.
No pressure
sorry.
to score at all if you're Miamisburg, just running the course here.
Barry just came back in. Walt lines up as wide receiver at the top of your screen.
Yerkins brothers behind Vongzi, and Joey will take it.
And he gets inside the 10 to about the, maybe the 7-yard line.
Tackle by Lincoln Troxel.
Troxel makes the tackle on that play. So the ball spotted right now on the 7.
Sets up a third
So that'll be
down
3rd and 5.
from the 8-yard line.
So 4 minutes now. Miamisburg has been on this drive for over 8 minutes now. Play action on the bootleg. Vongzi takes it in, almost to the end
The
zone.
ball comes out at the end at about the 2-yard line. But
I believe
let's see whether he
number
was
9
rolled down.
Yeah, I believe number 9 was down on that play. Nice bootleg attempt by Vongzi. Almost getting the first down there.
Vongzi ran the ball around the left side, was chased down by number 34 Walters and fumbled into the end zone, and the Panthers have it.
Wow.
Yeah, the ball popped out. It's recovered, so that's going to be a touchback.
That's crazy. I did
Springboro's
not-
going to, Springboro's going to take possession at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Did
Here
not
you see
think
on the
that was a
replay,
fumble.
quarterback runs at the top of the screen. The ball
Yeah,
pops
both
out at about the
knees.
3-yard line.
Both
And
knees are clearly down, though. That was a really bad call there.
I don't know if we can see that replay again,
One more time.
or if not, we can try and check it out later. Oh, there, we're backing it up a little bit.
There, as the ball is slipping out, you see both of his knees on the ground. So not going to be a controversial one here, as the game is almost wrapped up, but is a sign of encouragement for the Springboro Panthers.
Thank you once again to our replay, sponsored by City Barbecue and our workers in the truck, the students from the various high schools, and from workers from Miami Valley Communications Council helping out with these broadcasts, running the equipment.
Palmer looked,
And
yeah,
now we
there
have a
looked to be a
flag.
flag. That definitely was a flag, as Cameron Moore came behind, and that was completely a pass interference call. Cameron Moore wrapped around him before the ball got there.
Defense number 2, 15-yard penalty from the spot of the
Penalty called on number 2, Cameron Moore.
previous.
And here
So that'll
you
be
see on the City
15-yard
Barbecue
mark-off.
replay, Moore wrapped around Casey Quigley before he could even think about catching the ball.
I think he knew that was coming. The other guy thought he was free, but I think he
Palmer,
knew that was coming.
lob, Myers.
Pass to 13 is complete. Eric Myers hauls it in and is dragged down at the 29-yard line. A big pickup.
Patrick Bodkin gets torched again tonight, but how about the perfect trajectory from Landon Palmer? Beautiful throw back there by the 6'5", 200-pound junior.
Now they spot the ball at the 27, 1st and 10, 3:30 left on the game clock.
Palmer back again with 4 receivers, looking right over the defense, and that'll be a flag again almost, and no. He said he just got tripped up there.
Yeah, I wondered if that might have been offensive interference on that play if they were going to make a call, because it looked like I thought the receiver thought he knew he was beat and might have tried to block the defender from getting it, but I don't know. Oh, no, looks like, they just kind
Yeah.
of ran into each other on that play.
Moore snuck in at the last second.
Dickerson was hoping for a flag on that, but looks like he just ran up over the feet of the defender.
Honestly, it looks like it was too high anyways. Miamisburg will drop back here, way back, and Willian Yates.
Pass intended for Juan Yates falls incomplete, too far over his head,
That wasn't even in his vicinity.
but that'll stop the clock for 3:17. So we've got 3rd and 10, ball on the 27-yard line.
Landon Palmer will have to come up big on this drive with a touchdown. And I think Miamisburg D knows it too. They keep dropping back.
Looking
Lobbed
for
up
receiver
again.
at the end zone and overthrown. Almost
Straight through Cameron
hit
Moore's hand.
Thomas's hands.
Cameron Moore should have had the pick, actually.
Yeah, I had the wrong name there. Cameron Moore almost came away with that interception there in the end zone.
And if he would have had it in Brandon Thomas's vicinity, he might have had a chance to get it. But instead, it will be 4th and 10. Miamisburg drops back again.
Palmer's back, passes across the middle, and is broken up.
And that is several times now that Landon Palmer's arm has come up short in critical situations.
Looks like coverage on that play by number 16, Jackson Myers.
We're used to seeing really nice composure from Landon Palmer. 4th in passing yards in G-Walk, 2nd in passing touchdowns. Tonight was very unlike him. His arms were very spazzing out.
Turnover on downs gives Miamisburg the ball. 1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line. So the Panthers, after that big pickup, unable to capitalize on the pickup and get it into the end zone again. Miamisburg thinking they've got just over 3 minutes to try and get a couple TDs on the board. Run goes up the middle. And the runner gets out to, looks like about the 29-yard line. Ball comes out at the end, but the runner's already down. Picked up by number 9, Etheridge. But the play's already dead.
And
Looks
with
like they gained about 2 yards on the play.
With that turnover on downs, it just about ends this one. As 1 first down can be the final play. All they got to do is convert on 1 third down conversion. The wing tee once again here.
Bongsy back. He pitches the near side. The ball is dropped.
And that'll be a fumble, and that'll be recovered by Springboro. So a little glimmer of hope here at the last second, and Zion Lewis was smacked after he dropped that ball.
Troxel comes up with the ball. You'll see the pitch to the left side at the bottom of your screen.
Calvin Walters.
Number
pummels
34 with
them.
the big hit.
Wow, that has to hurt. Zion Lewis took a shoulder pad straight to the chest.
You saw his head snap back, and it looks like the helmet come up a little bit on that one. Big hit on that play.
Force, shoulder to chest. And all of a sudden, Springboro,
1st and 10.
they have a little glimmer of hope here.
Yeah, at the 23-yard line. They've got just over 2 minutes, and they've got good field position now. If they can get it into the end zone, do a short kick, try and get possession again.
Palmer has another chance going with the slant and overthrows it again.
Yeah.
Wow,
Pass
not
intended
like
for
him.
Quigley.
Palmer completing 65% of his passes up until this point of the season.
Looks like he led Quigley just a little bit too much on that ball, hoping he was going to be there, and he would have had a little bit more open field to run and get closer to the end zone.
Ball's really been getting away from him this game.
But at least it stops the clock with 2:09.
And
Now the pass
again,
across the middle is incomplete.
Thomas cut off the slant, and I think Palmer was anticipating him to follow through with it, but right now this Springboro Panthers the offense looks like a mess.
Yeah, Yerkins very close to coming up with that ball on that play as well.
So 3rd and 10, and they'll keep passing and trying to get it into the end zone here, but no concepts they try are working.
Ball still on the 23.
And
An
they get
early
him.
jump from Miamisburg is going to pick up a free 5 yards.
And that's going to be a flag on number 12, Jackson Gebhardt.
3rd and 5 now at the 18-yard line.
Encroachment, defense, number 43. 5-yard
Actually, they'll call it on Cale Parkhurst. But both of them
They had
came.
2 guys jump there.
They were ready.
Pass to the far side falls incomplete.
Yet another throw off. And this is going to put a real damper in his completion percentage, Michael. Landon Palmer having an unfortunate night.
4th and 5 at the 18, just over 2 minutes left to go. 2:01 left on the clock in the fourth quarter here in Springboro. Panthers looking to the sideline to get the play called in.
Awaiting direction, and I think they're just going to take one last shot, but they'll talk
They're
it
gonna
over
call
for
timeout.
Ryan
Timeout
Wilhite.
Springboro.
We'll use one here with 2 minutes left. And there still is a little chance for them to get back in this game, but for that to happen, Landon Palmer will have to regain composure here. Week 7 MVCC Game of the Week.
Once again, you got Jeff Allen, and I'm Michael Sliger calling your game for tonight. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast, and check out other games of the week here on the MVCC.net website. I hear Sweet Caroline in the background. Sounds like it's coming from the Miamisburg band.
And not very fitting music as some intense play calling getting called over there on the Springboro sideline. Being called like it's the last play of the night because it very well may be. Miamisburg never makes mistakes, and I don't think they're going to get another opportunity like that again from a fumble recovery. Here
4th
we
and
go.
5 at the 18.
Usual formations for both teams. Miamisburg go 4-3, and here we go. Palmer to
Pass
Yates.
to the near side to Yates, complete. Yates moves down, gets pushed out of bounds, and it looks like about the 13-yard line. That'll stop the clock.
And he gets the first down, and I thought they were going to do that a lot more than they did tonight. Little shuffles down to Yates. He's very nice scat back. Wow, I thought that was a clear first down, but
Just shy,
apparently
yeah.
not.
They had to
Yates'
get down to
last
the
effort.
13, and it looks like they marked it at the 14. Yeah, they spot the ball at about the 14-yard line. From our angle, looks like he went down at the 13, but he probably crossed the plane of the line at the 14.
You got the fight song playing, and Miamisburg knows that they just won this game.
1st and 10, 1:55 on the clock. The ball's on the 18-yard line. Miamisburg takes possession again. Bongsy comes in from the sideline with the play. Let's see if they just take a couple kneel downs or if they actually run a couple more plays and try something new or give somebody else some experience. I don't know that they'll want to do anything too crazy. Run up the middle, and the ball goes across the 10 to about the 12-yard line.
Definitely not anything crazy.
Yeah.
Seen that play 20 times tonight, it seems like. And Springboro trying to cling to some kind of life here calls an unexpected timeout, to say the least.
1:47 on the official game clock.
I know it's only 2 scores here, but with the way Miamisburg's offense has been going,
Right.
How
They can just chew up that
conservative.
clock.
how conservative and smart they have been with the ball in their possession, I don't think that Springboro is going to come up with anything more lucky than they got last drive.
But they're going to give it their all. They want to get another W in the column and get tuned up for playoff season.
Yeah, they
Hopefully,
can
we can
definitely
boost their
say-
playoff hopes a little.
I can definitely say they've given it their all tonight
Yes.
in about every category.
Yeah, and we've talked before about they've made some good plays or been so close on some of these plays, and just just a slight missed tackle or somebody slipping through somebody's arms or dropped
Yeah.
the ball here and there, and just a few little changes could have made this a very different score and very different game.
Just miscues and execution, and at the end of the day, that's the most important part of the game. So Longsley will come out again, 2nd and 7.
Run up the middle and then goes back about a yard forward, maybe 2.
They get nothing, just keeps the clock going there.
Looks like we're going to have 3rd and 5 now, so about a 2-yard gain. Ball spotted back at the 19-yard line. Third and 5 on the 19. And 1:22 and counting on the clock.
Springboro still with 2 timeouts here. I think they'll call it after this play is ran.
Play clock down to 4. They get the play off. Run goes up the middle again. He finds a gap, moves out to the 15, and is finally dragged down at about the 18-yard line.
No hope there. Brought down by Brandon Thomas, but Joey Yerkins.
And now we have a timeout. Springboro once again. That'll be their final timeout.
You see the replay there. Yerkins going to the right, getting some good blocks, but cutting it back at the right time. See some nice intensity there by the younger Yerkins brother, who is also a senior.
Thomas making the stop before Yerkins can get through the line and chew up even more yardage and run more time off the clock. So Springboro calls its final timeout. 1:02 left on the clock. And we have 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Doesn't look like there's much purpose with these timeouts. Just trying to get some pride, trying to get some stops.
Every effort, trying to do whatever they can to get in there and pop that ball out if at all possible.
I mean, there's still enough time for a miracle.
Yeah, if they can force a fumble like we talked about before they needed to try and do that.
And kneeling formation here for Miamisburg.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10 at the 28. The clock continues to run. They'll be down to about 35 seconds or so, 40 seconds before they have to make the next play, and probably just going to line up and do the same thing a couple more times and run the clock right out.
So what I really took away from this game, Michael, is Miamisburg is improving their ability to improving their ability to manage games.
Right.
And 3 and 8 third down conversions last week. I said it against Fairmont. They had a blocked punt, which is a horrible mistake in high school football. And I think they really
kneel down again.
I feel like they really tuned that. They really finely tuned their ability to manage games.
And
Steve Chanel has to be proud of his team.
Yeah, they've really been able to chew up that clock and control the clock to their advantage.
Yeah, they were very conservative in this second half, and that's just what they needed to do.
Yeah. We're under 10 seconds. The time is going to expire after that final kneel down. And we've now got a final score. So the Miamisburg Vikings 21, Springboro Panthers 7. And tonight, any other big changes you saw, or pretty much kind of what you predicted earlier this evening?
I think this game, when Springboro looks back and Ryan Wilhite, head coach, looks back, this is going to be a gigantic step in Landon Palmer's development. Junior quarterback for Springboro. I think he grew up a lot tonight in 4 quarters than he has the entire rest of the season, really facing some adversity with Miamisburg D, and I think Miamisburg D bounced back from a huge loss. Dylan Wudke last week, he was out, and that was their leading tackler coming in to this game. And Miamisburg looking really good after that crushing loss last week. Just a great game down to the finish.
Right.
Some miscues and execution from Springboro, but nonetheless, this is always a great game. Nice to be here in Careflight.
Right. So even though Springboro had a loss tonight, I think they can still take some solace that they've had some things go well, and just a few little tweaks here and there, and may have switched that into the W column.
A lot of pride in this, L.
Yes. All right, so for Jeff Allen and myself, Michael Slager, thank you again for tuning into tonight's broadcast of the Miami Valley Communications Council Game of the Week. We hope you'll tune in for the next couple upcoming weeks of exciting matchups, and check us out online at mvcc.net for other local area activities. Thank you much again for watching.
Have a great night, folks.